started 8 days ago among a gathering of filmmakers, seasoned researchers, and supporters. Some meeting for the first time, others peers in the field. The rules of engagement for the 23 minutes of therm footage was made perfectly clear. If they could be debunked, then bring it on. Here's the video log documenting that process.
So I really need to nail it. We'll do this again maybe tomorrow, but I need to be, which way? Tom, I need to be a little bit this way, a little more angled this way.
Let's go
Bart
see
Cutino, myself, and 11 other individuals, including 4 of the participants that were originally there that night when Bart recorded the subjects on his therm, has assisted in one form or another with a reenactment of what is currently the longest therm-recorded Sasquatch behavior on record, documented from a region that will forever be known as the Sierra Kill Site. This is an overview of our investigation.
Branches of this fir tree, see that?
Yeah. You guys aren't noticing something else that I notice, and you guys aren't noticing. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to look at this and tell me what the difference is.
See.
What do you notice about Kip?
His clothes.
That a boy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you see the distinction in his jacket and...
Well, that's an obvious, but the problem with the other one that's kind of blurry, it's harder to see the details.
It's blurry, but it's still...
I'm wearing a jacket.
Yeah, you can tell he's wearing clothes.
Tom, same way. Yeah.
I mean, look, there's a complete discoloration even at 100 yards.
Yeah, I'm wearing my North Face jacket.
It's so good, it was obvious. We didn't even say anything about it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. After doing these other therm experiences, there's definitely a difference in clothing and nakedness.
I mean, it's definitely a naked animal compared to a human. I mean, even though it's blurry, you would see, if you see Kip's, you would see some kind of a discoloration. Now, it is a far distance.
Yeah.
And I would contend if you couldn't see Kip's clothes, then I would contend all bets are off as far as like the clothing goes, the clothing issue. But because you can see his clothes very clearly, this fucker's naked.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all consistent. There's no difference. Whereas with my jacket, you can clearly see that it's darker because it's probably not as...
He's glowing bright white. There is no discoloration whatsoever.
Because it's insulated and my heat is all being kept inside my jacket, so...
I think it's squatches, and I think you need to come to grips with that, Robert. Has this been an eye-opening experience for you at all, Robert?
Well, I've been trying to keep my eyes open, yeah.
You have to know these are squatches. I mean, come on. Do you really think this was Todd and Ro? Look how dark it is right now. Like, they could be fucking right there.
Absolutely.
Todd and Ro would not walk 5 feet and take a piss without their headlamps on that night. I'll tell you right now. Ro's like just getting comfortable now.
Yeah.
God bless him. So for them to walk anywhere near that fucking tree line is just ridiculous. Oh, and I filmed you going to get to the wood pile.
Right, from my chair.
Yeah.
Here, facing uphill.
Yeah, you don't even see the fire area when you're up there.
Let's see some of those the files where Kip's over in camp.
Oh, sure.
Is there enough evidence on the footage, the original footage, to determine whether or not there was a third? Or is that still kind
the reason why you would see a third would be, well, no, because when the rock throwing happens, he's not in the frame. There he goes right there. Now the fucker looks pretty big right there.
This is the original.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do this real quick. This is a good one to do a comparison with the Kipper. So there's a definite fucking size difference. Not huge, not tall. It's the bulk. And you know, that was like the one I saw at Bumping too. It wasn't that much taller than Paul Graves. I remember that, but it was just because of the size. It was just like the girth was like 2.5, 3 times his body mass. And Paul's really skinny.
Yeah, Paul is.
And you could see his clothes like really good. Remember, it's weird with closing. They always call it the threshold distance, and usually that threshold is unobstructed from 60 to 70 yards. However, on certain nights, I've seen close on people 110, 120 yards away.
And this new camera attachment, this new camera thing is doing.
Oh, this is just unbelievable. This is without the extender lens, which I'm going to slap on right now because we're going to swatch with it. So this is good. When we first put this together, it's just you're just like, you're working with something that's a lot blurrier, and that's because me and Wally had probably the first H series off the line. It was the first set, the first ones that we were on the waiting list. So we got all the bugs. So it was nice. We had the first original handhelds that are consolidated and record, but the downside is we had all the bugs. It didn't even have a time date stamp on it. So it's so bad that, because I helped facilitate getting the equipment in the field with a lot of researcher friends and my thermal guy from Rockland by Sacramento, well, what he would do, he'd give them that same deal he'd give Wally, and they'd get the new unit, and the time date stamp did not originally come, so it was an upgrade. It was on an SD card that had to be programmed, and you'd put it in the card and run through this whole program, and it'd put the upgrade on there, so that would put the time date stamp. When I'm so bad with technology, but when I tried to upgrade mine, it didn't work. I talked to FLIR, and they said, no, all original units, it's a problem with the bugs. You have to send the unit in. We have to do the time date stamp on it. So we did that, and then I didn't know that my H series, the original one, was a problem with the screen quality-wise until you and I did our in Washington last year. So we did our thermal experiments. Remember, Kirk said, no, I got to film with mine. Bart, look at the difference. You have a washout on your screen. Yeah. So I sent it in, and they told me they fixed it. Well, apparently they didn't fix it. And there's the proof of it right there, because that's what the quality that Brandenburg's had. So then after I saw what I filmed, I wrote an email to FLIR saying that, I keeping it quiet, but I filmed, what I think it's 3 squatches in the Sierras from, 90 plus yards, and they're very blurry and the quality, and I thought you guys had taken care of that. And she wrote me back and patronizing me, very nice though, and said, we're just so sorry to hear that your Bigfoots were blurry. Go ahead and send that unit in and we'll replace it right away. And she did. And I mean, this is the quality difference.
Wow.
Rode out that day, and their lives changed in every way. Well, so did ours, because we got to see a living Bigfoot walking tall and free, yeah. Roger and Bob went down in history. Hey! Whole rendition, the side, and
you got it.
Yeah,
you nailed it.
Tell us the story. Bob said that when he first heard it. You tell the story, Tom. But then, that's just like it happens.
You sound just like him.
Well, Roger and I, we were. Yeah.
He's got that down pretty well.
I called his wife one time. I said, "Honey, I'm going to be a little late tonight. I'm out riding with Tom." What are you doing, Bob? No, I actually went and had lunch the first time I picked him up to go on a trip back to California.
Yeah.
And oh, that's right. He brought it up at Bumpkin Lake on the trip where Bart had his sighting. We were all at the base camp. We all sit down with our dinner plates, and I hear you do a pretty good imitation of me, Tom. I said, well, it is the sincerest form of flattery. Oh, let me hear it.
That's great.
Well, when my horse crossed the creek, that's when the creature turned to look at Roger. That's what I heard him say at the Little Creek.
The thing is actually closer than what they were closer
to
it.
About 35, 40 feet when it started. Then she took off. And he would say the movie makes her look a little fast, but it was a determined walk, but not a run.
I mean, that is a really good walk. I mean, it's so natural.